I love reading books, and today is my first book review. The book that I've chosen for you is The Goal. It's a process of ongoing improvement by Ellie Goldratt and Jeff Cox. Let's get into it. What I loved about this book is it is a management book, but it has a storytelling. So the writing style is amazing. It really tells you a story, personal and professional, of the main character, and you really get involved into what he's living. So it shows all the questions he has with his teams, and it shows all the mistakes that they make throughout the process of ongoing improvement. And it's very interesting, it's very real, it's funny at times, and it even shows, all his personal struggle, because he has difficulties at his work, so he has to devote lots of time to see if he improves the current situation. And it's interesting that it even shows that once he decides that he can open up with his family about the problems at work, he even gets lots of interesting and useful advice, even from his kids, from his mom and wife. So it shows really a real side of the story that calls attention. It's excellent. What's missing? What could I say? It's very hard for me to criticize this book. It's really a wonderful read. But if you are expecting a textbook that tells you how to apply the techniques, because here, as you see, it introduces the theory of constraints. And if you want to know how to apply it, you probably need to get into other books, other of his books, or other authors who go in more detail. But even, and maybe that's one of the reasons, here at the end of the book, he provides one of his articles, which is a famous article, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. One article where he gives more techniques and say how to apply it, and even a history how he got into the theory of constraints. So if you remember the first video on business process, here it gives a wonderful definition that it says that process is a chain of links. So it's the simplest definition of processes that I've ever found, and it's very interesting. It consolidates on the idea that everything is interconnected, that what defines the flow of the process is really the weakest link. So if anything in this chain of links is lower, it's this one that we have to focus on. On process improvement itself, what caught my attention here is that, okay, by the end they start talking about measuring, but they focus on saying that you have to measure with a purpose, not only measure to have these long reports with so much data if they don't have any meaning, if they don't help you make a decision. And if you remember in the last video, I mentioned that of course there are many people who are afraid to change, and he touches on that human perspective also. It's true and it's normal, but he points out that people have to work as a team. He mentions a very good example where he goes with his son on a hike with the Boy Scouts team, and they have to get to the tent at night to sleep. So during this walk, they detect that they're going slower than expected. So he starts observing, seeing what's going on, and he sees that there is one kid that is the slowest, and it's this kid who is just bringing down the pace of the whole group. So you see that he tries different techniques to see if they get to the tent faster, but finally the solution is the one where all the kids walk to the pace of the slowest kid. There you go, The Go, Ellie Goldratt and Jeff Cox, my recommendation.